If you have been speaking English for a while, you'll probably know that you have a lot of pauses and hesitations, and even if you don't, you might not be aware that you have these little micro hesitations, very tiny little breaks between words. And so today we're going to be talking about how to fix these problems so that you can speak English more fluently and easily. Hi, I'm Josh, your American English guide, and this is English Hacks Pronunciation, where I help you to sound more like a native if you want, and to understand natural American speech better. There are two main techniques we're going to be talking about today. One will actually impact mostly your speaking, and the other will affect your actual pronunciation and your flow. So first, let's talk about if you have these big pauses, big hesitations. If you're an intermediate learner, this is probably one of your biggest problems. And the fix for that is what I call true extensive shadowing. And what it is you're going to take some form of audio or video, it doesn't matter. You can have a transcript, which would probably be better to have, but you don't absolutely have to have a text. You want it to be at least, say, 5, maybe 10 minutes long. You are going to start listening to whatever it is that it is. You push play, and you're going to wait about 1 to 2 words, and then you're immediately going to start repeating after that person. Here, this is focused mostly on your speaking, so you're actually not trying to match the sounds, you're not trying to match the rhythm, it's not about the pronunciation. Although you should try to kind of match some of those things, especially the intonation and overall flow, but you're just focused on repeating after this person for the whole time. You sit there for this 5 to 10 minute clip and you just keep going, don't stop. Now what this is going to do is it's going to actually get your brain really into English mode, and you're going to start noticing after that the thought chunks start forming more easily, that you have less hesitation. And it's going to be a temporary effect, so you have to practice this more and more to get used to it. But I will give credit here to one of my students, Nikita, because he's the one who actually discovered this and told me about it. And so thank you very much, Nikita, for that. There are other techniques to help improve your speaking, like my short stories, the point of view stories, The Black Cat, and Tom's Horrible Day. Those will also help you, especially if you don't have like the basics of grammar and automatic responses. But this is another technique that you can also use to help smooth out your speaking and to try to develop a better flow. The next technique is what I call falling forward into the next word. This is with micro hesitations or micro pauses. Micro just means really, really small. Let's say, for example, you say the sentence, "That's not what he wants." What an English learner might do, it'll sound pretty good, but if you listen really, really closely, you start noticing it's more like, "That's not what he wants. That's not what he wants." And even if the rhythm is pretty good, if the intonation is pretty good, even the sounds can link and move over and do all the things that the sounds do, there's this sort of like pulling back hesitation, because the way that you learned English probably is there's the words and the grammar, and you use the words and the grammar to form the sentences this way, and you put word. And so your brain is used to that, and so even if you're an advanced speaker, subconsciously you still have this little hesitation, this little pause between each word, where your brain is kind of just putting word to word instead of these thought chunks that flow. Remember, inside a thought chunk, everything needs to kind of flow together as much as possible. If we say, "That's not what he wants," listen to how I do that. That's not what he wants. That's not what he wants. That's not what he wants. Okay. Now, of course, there are stop sounds and stuff which will actually create a little micro pause. That's fine. But in general, right, I'm not saying that's not. I'm saying that's not. So it's like, it's not. Right? So this is about the basic sounds and the basic linking rules that we've talked about before, but it's this little tiny pulling back. You want to fall forward into the next word. Okay, that's what this is about. It's the falling forward technique. Woody, woody, woody. See, there's no stop in the flow of sound. It's not woody, 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 woody. It's like you're always pushing forward through the sentence, through that thought chunk. That's not what he wants. What I recommend you do is record yourself saying these example sentences that we're going to go over here in a moment. Listen to my original audio and listen to you and try to notice the space between words and see if you're doing anything weird. Remember, it's not just about the sounds, because you might still link the sounds, but there's this little sort of pullback hesitation between the words, not necessarily an actual gap. And it doesn't feel like you're moving forward through the sentence. It feels like you're just putting pieces together. The classic example I always use, I want to go to the beach. Okay, not I want to go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. No, see, it's a little choppy. I want to go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I want to go to the beach. And by the way, this ties into the breathing that we talked about before, how to breathe through the sounds, because you need a certain amount of breath to link everything together in a good flow. John says he can do it. John says he can do it. Not John says he can do it. John says he can do it. No. John says he can do it. John says he can do it. John says he can do it. So it's almost like one big word. There's too much happening. There's too much happening. Okay? Not there's too much happening. There's too much happening. No. There's too much happening. Da 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 da. Not da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. There's too much happening. There's too much happening. Falling forward into that next word, into that next sound. And one more example. Do you want to do it or not? Do you want to do it or not? So not, do you want to do it or not? 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 Try each of these two techniques. Combine them. Okay, record yourself. Pay very close attention. Try to notice how you're actually speaking, and let me know your results. If you have any questions, let me know, of course. And thank you so much for watching another English Hacks lesson. I'll see you guys in the next one.